Welcome to the thrilling world of Filmoro. Today, we're diving into the exciting movie, Mickey 17. The story is about a man named Mickey, who borrows money from a dangerous man named Darius Blank, after a friend suggests opening a macaroni shop. But when the business goes bankrupt, Mickey and his friend can't escape from Blank and his gang. Blank doesn't really care about the money. He's obsessed with witnessing the details of his debtors' deaths. In front of Mickey's eyes, he kills one of them with a saw. To get away from Blank, Mickey decides to escape Earth. He registers for the last sign-up led by Marshall, which sends people to a frozen planet called Niflheim. Millions of people are there, as if everyone wants to flee Earth, or maybe they've simply lost hope in it. To improve his chances of being accepted, Mickey fills out the expendable form. The registration officer asks him several times, "Are you sure you want to be an expendable? Did you read the terms?" Mickey quickly answers yes. That's when he finally realizes what being an expendable means. On that spaceship, there is a recycling unit where all human waste, food scraps and garbage are dumped, and after processing, it is turned into the raw material used to build human bodies. The one who becomes an expendable is actually assigned to undergo dangerous experiments. After dying in each test, his body is placed in the machine, and within 20 hours, a new version of him is printed. This is one of the most exhausting tasks a human can endure, the experience of dying over and over again. First, a scan of Mickey was made to create a backup of his memories. After each death, the new experiences are added to the previous ones. On the first day of the journey aboard the spaceship, food had to be rationed so that they would have enough supplies to last the 4.5-year trip. When Marshall and his wife Ilfa entered the dining hall for the first time, everyone started clapping for them. Suddenly, Mickey's eyes met Nasha's. There was a warmth in her look, as if she had known him for years. Mickey quickly grabbed his food and went over to her. Marshall was giving a speech about how they must preserve their food supply until they reach the planet Niflheim, and how sex should be avoided on the spaceship so calories wouldn't be wasted. But Mickey and Nasha, ignoring everything, left the dining hall right then and went to their room, where they fooled around and enjoyed each other. Nasha was with Mickey through all 4 years, in both good and bad times. In fact, Nasha was Mickey's only chance at life. Finally, after 4 years, they reached the planet Niflheim. Now they had to conduct the necessary tests and examine the living conditions on this planet. All the experiments were carried out on Mickey. Mickey set foot on the planet Niflheim for the first time and was told to take a deep breath. But the air there was filled with deadly viruses, so Mickey coughed up blood and died. To complete their experiments, they printed Mickey again and again in multiple versions until finally, thanks to printing Mickey 16 times, they managed to create a vaccine, the antidote to this deadly virus, so they could walk on the planet's surface without oxygen masks. After the vaccine was created, Mickey and several of the crew members were walking on the planet when a strange creature jumped onto Jennifer's face. Terrified, she began shooting, but since the whole planet was covered in ice and snow, the ice fell onto her face, and she died. Marshall was deeply upset that Jennifer had died instead of Mickey, because, as he said, Jennifer was valuable as a fertile woman, while Mickey was just an expendable who could always be reprinted. To punish Mickey, Marshall cut his food ration in half and doubled his working hours until Mickey could bring back one of those creatures for them. They named the creature Creepers. One day while searching for creepers, the ground beneath Mickey gave way and he fell into a pit, injuring himself. His friend Timo saw him but refused to help, mocking him by saying that he was just going to die again anyway. At that moment, a large creepers appeared and started dragging Mickey away with it. Mickey, who thought the creepers and their offspring were going to eat him, closed his eyes, but to his disbelief they only pulled him out of that pit and saved him. It took hours for Mickey to make his way back to the spaceship, but when he reached his room and lay down on his bed, he saw that his 18th version had been printed and was lying on the bed. Timo, when he saw the creepers on Mickey earlier, thought they had eaten him, so he reported Mickey's death and they built his new version. Now that there were 2 Mickeys, they were considered multiples, and by law, one of them had to be eliminated. The story of the multiples and the human printing device began when a deranged scientist, a serial killer of homeless people, printed another version of himself so he would leave no trace. He committed the murders himself while his duplicate appeared in public places to provide an alibi that he had not been at the crime scenes. The police eventually arrested him, and this is when Marshall exploited the situation, saying that printing people was wrong on Earth, but he would use the machine only to print one person as an expendable, and if they multiplied, he would eliminate the extras. Knowing that story, Mickey was sure that if the others got wind of it, one of them would be killed. The new Mickey, unlike Mickey 17, was a very powerful and violent individual. Right away, he threw an object at Mickey 17's head, and then dragged him toward the recycler. Mickey 17 told him, "I am afraid of death. When I died before, I knew they would print me again, but this time, there won't be another print. Let's both live secretly and take turns dying so that once I die and once you die and we split our food rations in half, that way we both survive." At that moment Timo entered, while secretly selling exos to one of the ship's crew. Mickey 18 says, "All our misery is because of Timo. I'm going to kill him," and he throws Timo into the recycling furnace. Timo barely holds onto the furnace's rim with his hands to avoid falling into the recycler. Mickey 17 tries everything to stop version 18 but cannot. Suddenly Nasha comes in with one of the ship's staff and sees them. Mickey 18 tells Timo, "If you tell them I was trying to kill you, I'll tell everyone about your dirty dealings," and pulls Timo out of the furnace, then takes Nasha's hand and goes to his room. Mickey 17, who had been watching the whole thing from a distance, rushed toward his room to tell Nasha that the one in her bed wasn't him, but Marshall's people caught him and told him that Marshall had arranged a lavish dinner for him and said he must go see him right away. Mickey wanted to go to Nasha as soon as possible, and he was also looking forward to the big meal because it had been a long time since he'd had a proper meal. Kai also joined the party, and Marshall told him, "We reviewed your medical file, and you're the best candidate to give birth naturally on this planet and increase your line." They offered Kai some food, but before he could start eating, Mickey vomited everything he had eaten. The medical team quickly gathered around Mickey and discovered that the meats Mickey had been eating were synthetic and that they had been running another experiment on him. Mickey, who was suffering from severe stomach pain, had Marshall pull out a gun to kill him and reprint him, but his wife said she wouldn't let him be killed on her beautiful Persian rug. Mickey lied, saying that the painkiller they'd injected had made him feel better, and he left with Kai. Kai took Mickey to his room and gave him an herbal tea, asking him what death felt like. Mickey said that even though he knew he would be printed again after each death, death was still terrifying, and he hated it. Kai moved in to kiss him, but Mickey, who loved Nasha, quickly left. Mickey wanted to get to his room quickly and tell Nasha that the one fooling around in her room was Mickey 18, not him. But when he got to his room, he found that Nasha already knew everything and was completely happy about it. Mickey didn't notice Nasha's change in behavior until he suddenly realized they had taken oxazofol and were not themselves. Nasha only wanted more mischief. She wanted to be with both at the same time. Quiet Mickey 17 and fiery Mickey 18. They were enjoying each other when Kai suddenly appeared and saw them in that state. Kai quickly left the room. Now Kai also knew the secret of Mickey's multiplicity and could reveal it at any moment. Nasha rushed after Kai. Kai told her, "Your private matters are none of my business. I must report this multiple identity violation to Marshall, but if you give me Mickey 17 and keep Mickey 18 for yourself, I won't say anything." Nasha was furious at Kai's words and told him Mickey belonged to her. 17 and 18 made no difference. Mickey was Mickey. Meanwhile, Mickey 18 asked Mickey how the dinner ceremony had gone, and Mickey told him the whole story. Mickey 18, who was extremely angry about this whole situation, grabbed a gun and said he had to kill that damn Marshall who dared to treat others this way. He rushed toward Marshall, who was giving a speech. Mickey 17 couldn't stop him. Meanwhile, Marshall was talking about the valuable black stone they had found and how they wanted to split it and carve their names on it. When the stone was split in two, a small creeper came out of it. At the same time, Mickey tried to shoot Marshall from within the crowd, but because of the commotion, he couldn't fire. Everyone was scared of the small creeper, fearing it might carry a disease. Marshall ordered Mickey 17 to catch the creeper. When Mickey caught the small creeper, things calmed down, but suddenly Mickey 18 aimed at Marshall again. Nasha stopped him and didn't let him do it. The guards captured all three of them, but at that moment another small creeper jumped on Marshall's head. The guards started shooting the creeper, tearing it to pieces, and they also arrested Nasha and both Mickeys. In the cell, Mickey 17 and 18 argued. Mickey 18 said, "If you had died when you fell into the icy pit, we wouldn't be in this mess right now." Mickey 17 replied, "It's all the creeper's fault. They didn't eat me. Instead, they pulled me out of that pit and saved me." Nasha said, "Then creepers aren't a threat to humans. In fact, they're rescuers. We must inform the science department about this." But at that moment, Timo jumped down from above the door and told Mickey, "Darius Blank's spy left a letter outside my room. It says, 'Don't think you're out of my reach just because you left Earth. I can take your life anywhere in the world.' He said you must cut Mickey into 13 pieces with a chainsaw and film it up close to send me the video, and only then will I spare you." Timo told Mickey, "You've died so many times, now die once for me," and shocked him so he couldn't resist. Mickey 18 says he is older than 17 and that he is more attractive to Darius Blank. He says, "Kill me. My only request before death is that you give me oxazofol." Timo happily agrees and tells the guard, "Give Mickey 18 the oxazofol I gave you. I'll bring it later." The guard walks toward Mickey 18. Mickey grabs the guard, slams him hard against the bars, and Nasha pulls the keys from the guard's pocket and opens the cell. Angry, she goes after Timo to have him killed with a chainsaw, but Mickey 17 tells her not to do it. At that moment, Marshall's guards arrive to take the prisoners to Marshall. Nasha tells Marshall the whole story about the creepers and Timo. Marshall, who is extremely angry at Mickey 18, hits Mickey 18's face with a hot rod to punish him. Nasha says creepers are not our enemies. They saved Mickey's life. Marshall laughs and says he thinks they aren't garbage eaters, and obviously no one is eating Mickey. Nasha says we must not destroy the creepers. They are the planet's inhabitants, and we are the aliens. Dorothy, one of the science team, says creepers are highly intelligent and that she is building a language translator for them. Marshall mocks the creeper speech, and the baby creeper gets angry and spits at him. Marshall, enraged, hangs the baby creeper on a hook and tells Nasha that if she wants it to stay alive and not be thrown into the recycler, she must hold the rope with her mouth. The guards, tired of Marshall's illegal actions, were secretly filming all his deeds to gather evidence. Ilfa, who loved making sauces out of whatever was available for extra amusement at the deaths of the Mickeys, said to suit both of them with explosive vests and send them to bring Ilfa 100 creeper tails. Whoever brings them first lives, the loser dies. The Mickeys went outside the spaceship. Dorothy gave the translator she had built to Mickey 17 to use. Mickey approached the same creeper that had saved him, and began using the translator to speak with it. He warned the creeper that Marshall planned to kill them all with a lethal gas, and that they should escape. But the creeper mother tells him, "You killed a creeper. First return the one you have in your hands, and in exchange for the one you killed, one of you humans must die. That's how justice will be served. Otherwise we will kill you all." They all began to scream loudly together. The creeper mother told Mickey that this loud screaming would first make their eyes pop out of their sockets, and then cause their guns to explode. Mickey rushed to the ship's cameras and signaled C3, which was a code between him and Nasha, meaning, "Bring the baby." Nasha understood Mickey's meaning, but her mouth was tied, and Marshall paid no attention. Marshall only cared about his grand display. To show he would cleanse the planet of the creepers, he decided to ride in a vehicle himself, and with the cameras rolling, give a historic speech, and then order the attack on the creepers. At that moment, Nasha jumped up, grabbed Ilfa by the neck, and with the rope in her mouth said, "I must have the baby, or I'll break Ilfa's neck." Zik agreed, and when he was about to hand the baby to Nasha, Ilfa attacked him. Nasha again saved the baby. Ilfa wanted revenge, but Zeke stopped her and said, "I filmed all of your and your husband's actions, and I won't let you break the ship's rules any further." Nasha took the baby and headed toward Mickey. Meanwhile, seeing several armed vehicles approaching the creeper mother, all the creepers moved to surround and shield her. Marshall was completely confused by this move, and no matter what he tried, he couldn't find the creeper mother. Mickey 18, knowing that the only way to end this cycle of violence was to take down the commander, decided to sacrifice himself. Fearless and determined, he attacked Marshall and pressed the explosive button on Marshall's hand. Marshall exploded in flames. Nasha returned the child to its mother. With Marshall's death, his wife went insane and was sent to a mental hospital, but she couldn't endure it there either and took her own life. Darius Blank's partner finally came after Timo to kill him, but Timo fought to the brink of death and managed to throw him into the recycling furnace, freeing himself from the threat for good. Nasha participated in the elections and became a member of the main committee. She ordered the human printing device to be destroyed forever and blew it up. Nasha was happy that she could grow old with Mickey and no longer be alone. If you enjoyed this recap, don't forget to hit that like button, and most importantly, make sure you subscribe right now so you never miss the next movie recap. I've got 6 playlists from different genres, and I add new movies every single month. You can see them right here on the end screen. Hit subscribe first, then pick a playlist and keep the adventure going.